Mark, what did you make of the Scottish Cup draw?
Interesting, but you know you're going to draw one of 4 good teams, or 3 other good teams rather. So it's what it is. It's a great game for the players. It's one of the world's biggest derbies. There's no doubt about that. But it's a many weeks away as far as we're concerned. There's a lot of work to do between now and then.
Is this one that you look forward to, maybe thinking ahead to next season, that you're looking forward to managing a game like this?
Honestly, no. Right now it's just about we have a job to do. You could have a scenario whereby you could go into that semi-final, you could win by 7 goals. If you don't do your job in the league, we've had a shocking season. So our job is to make sure we get the task done in the league. Big game on Friday against Morton, that's the key right now. And if we can get our job done and win the games of football, when it comes around to the game against Celtic, then fantastic, we'll enjoy it and prepare well for it. But right now it's not in our thoughts, it's not mentioned in meetings at all.
How much of the prospect of playing Celtic led to you coming to Scottish football in the first place?
That's the bigger picture. But it's a huge club, Rangers. I was made very aware of the stature and the history, tradition of the club, but it was clear what we had to do. And then before we talk about Celtic and games of that level, we had a job to do in terms of the Championship, getting out and getting the club back to the top tier. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do very, very clearly. So any other bits on top are nice to have, but the important things we have to do is achieve our aims this season.
How far away do you think the clubs are from each other in terms of standard?
It's Celtic are top of the league. They've had European competition for the last X number of years. They've got a squad full of international players, and we're very respectful of that. So we're not under any illusion about the quality of Celtic. But right now we're in good shape as well. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're performing well. We're doing what we have to do within our league. And when we've had cup matches, we've responded well as well. So we're in good shape. But that game seriously will not be mentioned by us until after the Petrofac final, and then our focus will switch to the Cup semi-final. Between now and then, we have league games and the Petrofac to look at.
Mark, it is 6 weeks away this game, but there's a level of hype and interest in it already. Show you exactly what it means.
No, it does. As I said, I was on a short radio interview. I took off from Belfast, a 30-35 minute flight, and had 27 missed calls by the time I landed. That tells you all you need to know about the intensity of the game. So we're well aware of it. As a football supporter, you know about what it means to the fans, and it is one of the biggest games in world football in terms of derbies. But and it's a huge but, between now and then there's too much work to do. So we have to focus on that. We can't allow ourselves to be distracted. We won't be. The quality of this group of players won't allow that to happen. And so David, myself and the staff won't allow it to happen either. So do our work between now and then, get the Petrofac, hopefully have a good result at Hampden if we can and prepare well, and then we can move our attention onto the Celtic game.
But do you think the players are going to be aware of it? It's going to be in their minds thinking, I need to play well because this is the game I want to play in?
No, I don't think so. I think if they don't train hard every day and do the best every day, we don't beat them anyway. They know that. They trained superbly well this morning. Delighted, David and I, with how they trained today. The quality and the application intensity was first class. So really good. But they want to play in a team on Friday night. That's their first objective. Don't worry about a game 6 weeks away. Worry about Friday night.
Mark, how would you rate Martin Wycombe's chances of being somehow fit for the semi-final?
For the semi-final, I doubt that. Because obviously it's not about one game, it's about making sure that Martin Waghorn is fit for the rest of his career. So we're not going to rush him back any earlier. If he's on target and he's doing well, then fantastic, it's a bonus for us. But right now, we're not planning anything about that aspect.
So you wouldn't consider taking even a marginal risk if you've got that extensive lead in the Championship?
Not at all. Absolutely. There's no need to take unnecessary risk.
Now, I appreciate you saying you're not going to mention it in the dressing room. Presumably David Weir has spoken to you about this fixture.
No.
He's played in this fixture?
No.
Not mentioned it?
No.
Pre or post the draw?
No. Seriously,
have you banned him as well?
As I said earlier, if you think about it, if we go into that game and we do really well and we win that game of football and we're in the final, fantastic. If we fail between now and then, we've had a very poor season. Simple as that. Our aims are very clear. Our aims at the start of the season were not to go and win a cup final. Of course, go as far as you can in a tournament. But our aim was clearly about the league. We can't lose focus. So everything is geared towards Morton. Everything. Get that right on Friday night, get 3 points on the board, extend our lead, and then get everything towards Falkirk the following Friday. That's how we work, and that won't change. If we do change, we're weaker for it.
So do you think there's a danger that players naturally could lose focus?
No.
If that dressing room chat wasn't banned?
No, it's not banned. I can't ban professional players to speak about things. That's nonsense. I never said that for 1 second. What I said was, our focus is Morton, and it has to be that way, and that will not change. So as I say, it's about 3 points. You know, if we're talking about a Celtic game 6 weeks away and we drop points against Morton, against Falkirk and against Queen of the South and Dumbarton and Raith, whoever it may be, then we're a poor squad for it. And we're not. We're a good quality squad. We're in good shape. The mentality is right. They've been first class of players, and that won't change.
I think you mentioned in your radio interview the other night that you have some sympathy with Ronnie Dyler. Is that just due to scrutiny he's under, or? I've
never met Ronnie. I'm sure he's very aware of what's involved when you take a job like Celtic, like Rangers. I'm sure he understands that. But again, you set your targets at the start of the season. And one of the targets will be to win the league. Now, they've been top of the league. They're still top of the league. They're in a cup semi-final, etc. So, again, everything will be geared towards the European aspect of it. But again, has he had a shocking season? As I say, I'm not going to talk about another club's business, but I just feel sympathy that he's achieved on a number of fronts, and all I hear is criticism. And I think a manager like Ronnie deserves more than that.
Have you ever spoken to him?
No, I never have. Never had the fortune to meet him, but I'm sure that'll change in a few weeks' time.
Do you feel that he is the only one that knows what maybe you're going through and you know what he's going through in terms of managing a big club in a small country?
Not at all. There's a number of very high quality managers in the country who recognise it. There's a number of people down south who've been up here and managed a club. So there's a number of people who are aware of the expectation and the size of the club. Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. But I don't think anyone comes into this job with their eyes shut. You know the Goldfish Bowl atmosphere. You know the scrutiny you come under. What you have to try and do is to preempt it and be aware of it and deal with it.
I think you mentioned before, Matt, that you've watched, or your kids have watched Old Firm matches. Will you watch last season's semi-final just to give you a flavour of what the Hampden experience may be like?
No, I don't think I gained anything from watching that game last year. I think that the Hampden experience is a national stadium. It'll be a complete sellout. I don't think you need to have experienced that before. I think you're well aware of what will be involved in that. You know the intensity of any single game of that nature. You know what it means to the supporters. You know what it means to the players. They're winners. They want to win a game of football. And they're one game away from a cup final, which any player will tell you is a great achievement in their career. But it won't be a great achievement if we fail between now and then.
Do you remember where you were when that game was played?
No. Probably working, I'd imagine.
How much of an advantage will it be for Rangers, given that you're playing at Hampden the week before?
I think it's good for us to prepare in terms of where we go overnight, the build up to it, the night before, our timings, etc., making sure everything of that detail, of that nature is right. So that's good to experience the stadium, absolutely, but I'm sure all the Celtic players have experienced the stadium many times, so it's no great advantage, but it certainly helps us, there's no doubt about that.
Scotland squad's been announced tomorrow. Mark, have you got players playing at international level at the moment? I'm thinking about Dee Wallace in particular.
We'll find out. We've tried to get more information, but at the moment nothing's been forthcoming, so we'll find out tomorrow and see where we stand after that, and 21s as well.
Is he playing international level, in your opinion, at the moment, Wallace?
Is Lee Wallace playing? You watch the games that I watch, Lee's been in outstanding form. So all credit to him for the way he's conducted himself on and off the pitch. He's assumed this role of captain of Rangers, and he's grown into the role, been magnificent from start to finish so far, and I think Lee can get better and better from here. Is he international status? My opinion doesn't count. It's Gordon, he's a national manager. It's what Gordon and his staff think that's the most important opinion.
I think Gordon names his squad tomorrow. Has he spoken to you? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Has he spoken to you about either Lee Wallace?
No. I mean, as I say, Gordon watches enough games. His staff and scouts, I'm sure, watch enough games, and they'll form their own opinion.
When you look at the league, Mark, how key is it to keep the focus given this vast league you have now? How tough will it be that people don't switch off and look at it?
Honestly, it's not tough. It's not tough because of the quality of the group of players. Their focus from day one has been really clear. The start they had showed you their intention, showed you their focus, and they've maintained it. You know, we drew 2 games. There was a major slump in confidence, and it was a crisis apparently. So we said at the time, it's a good group of players. They're really focused. They're committed. Their work ethic is outstanding. They know what they have to do. I've got no doubt. There's no danger of this group of players being distracted by any other fixture.
Do you admit it will take something? It would be something catastrophic if you weren't to win the league now, given the league you had.
We're in a good position, and everything is geared towards Friday night. So it's not about.
But there's no sign that you will slip up at the minute, is there? That's the thing. So it's looking good.
We're in good shape. I'd be foolish to say otherwise. We're in good shape. You know, we're X number of points clear, and we have a home game again on Friday night, and we have a game in hand on a team in second. So yeah, of course we're in good shape, and there's no denying that. But the job's not done yet. Until the job's done, we have to make sure we're focused and committed.
Mark, you've got the Petrified Cup final, you've got the semi-final against Celtic, and then the match against Hibs, pretty much in quick succession. How much do you think that's going to keep the players on their toes in the next few weeks as they look to those games?
Nothing more than Morton, Falkirk, Queen of the South, those type of games. Again, you have teams that are scrapping for playoff places. You have teams that are scrapping to avoid relegation. They're getting dragged down. So every team is fighting for something. And I think what we have learned is that every opponent will be completely committed, and every opponent will exploit a weakness if you're not well prepared. So we have to make sure every single game the preparation is right, the analysis is right, the rest recovery is right, and we go into that game in the best possible shape. Because if we don't, we'll get found out. Every team will. So we have to make sure what we can control is how we prepare.
And can I ask you a general question about what you make of the title race in the Premiership?
Down south?
Yeah.
Oh, here? It's tight. Obviously, it's tight. There's points, and you look at it, and a big result last night, and it comes down now to the crunch of the business end of the season. But I think all the teams will prepare well. Same message. Rangers aren't unique in that. It's about preparing well and giving yourself the best chance to gain the 3 points. I'm sure all the teams do the same.
Any injuries?
Touch wood, no, we're all good. Gideon is the only one who's had a flu bug, but hopefully he'll be fit. We'll see how he is.